Well, you know, DJ, we talked about your story, and you know, they showed a little bit of it in the clip, but I'd like for you to talk to these young people just about the journey, just how in one moment life can change. Not only from a negative standpoint, but then as you'll tell your story, how one person can also, what their words can do to change your life also. Let's start with being in college and the injury.
All right, basically, man, it was a freak deal, man. I was in practice, and basically, we was in scout team versus starting defense, and they threw the ball my way. So I'm going up for it to catch it, and me and another teammate, we ran into each other, and his knee hit me in my chest, and it like knocked the wind out of me. So like when you get the wind out there, you know, you kind of like gasping for air, whatever. Yeah. And like I was slowly getting my breath back, but it just wasn't feeling right. It was just feeling all funny and stuff. So like I was trying to breathe, but it just wasn't feeling right. So our head trainer, Doc O'Shea, he just take me inside, just off intuition, just randomly. He's like, man, I'm just gonna take you inside. So they take me inside. I start taking my pads off and stuff, and then like I was like real cold. Like I started getting real cold, and I couldn't see nothing. Like my vision was like blurred, and my left eye was like pitch black. And I was telling him, like, Doc, I can't see nothing, like for real. And he was like, all right, we're gonna call the EMT, we're gonna call the ambulance. So they call the ambulance. They put me in the back. They're trying to stick me with IVs, but they kept sticking me like 50 times because they couldn't get the IV in me.
Blood pressure was too low.
Yeah, blood pressure was real low. So basically, they put me through a CAT scan machine, and they see a lot of blood like in my abdomen, like from internal bleeding. And they was like, man, I think your spleen or liver like ruptured, so we're gonna have to go like to emergency surgery. And I was like, all right, cool, do what you gotta do, just don't mess my abs up. Honestly, God, too. I said, don't mess my abs up. And he kind of smirked at me. Then they put the anesthesia on me. And I just remember waking up. I just remember waking up with like a big bandage from right here all the way down, like to past my belly button. And like I couldn't move, and I was like, man, what happened? And they was explaining to me what happened, but I was on medicine, so I was like halfway listening. So then he came in there, the doctor really came in there and broke it down to me what happened. And it was basically like, I told my IVC, it's the inferior vena cava vein. And it's probably the size of my pinky. It's the biggest vein in your body. And the way your heart's set up, it's in the sac. And the way it was a lucky hit, because the way the sac's set up, it's like if it punctured a hole in the sac when it tore the vein, and the hole was big enough for the blood to leak out, but it wasn't too big where all the blood leaked out, then I would have like died right there on the spot. But if all that blood would have stayed in that sac, it would have like exploded. So it was like, man, it was just a blessing.
So here you have this major surgery to repair your body, and you know, you talked about all the trials and tribulation of, you know, earning a scholarship, going to junior college, and all this we talked about. But you're sitting and you're kind of down on yourself, and you know, let's talk about that. Talk about the negatives, the side effects of having a surgery and the mindset you were in, and then what happened.
All right, basically, like I got out the hospital like 5 days later, and I went home. And I really couldn't move. I would just sit up and I would just like watch TV all day. And like I got real skinny. Like I got all the way down to like 140, 145. Like I was skinny. Like I looked like I was sick. And I used to look at myself in the mirror, and I used to just go in tears. Like, man, DJ, what happened to you, bro? Like my mind used to race. Like I used to always think I'd be crippled. I think I'd never walk again. I always thought like an infection would just, you know what I'm saying? I just thought the most. Like I always think a lot of negative energy. And I remember this one specific day, I was watching The Six Man movie with Marlon Wayans and his brother. And I was watching that movie, and his brother had like hit the backboard and died or something with his heart. And when I was watching it, and I just burst in tears, like I was just crying, like, man, like why God, why this happened to me? Why this happened to me? So then my mom, she saw that. So then she called my team chaplain over there, Kyle Henson. So he came and talked to me. And basically he told me, he said, man, God got you, man. All this stuff happened, all these trials and tribulations you're going through, it's all for a reason. It's all going to make you a stronger person. And
what did he tell you to do?
he said, man, just trust in him, man. Just trust in God. And I've always done that. Like, every time I got into something, like I knew I was going to be in trouble or anything, I'll just say like a little quick prayer, like, Lord, please just stay with me. And that's all you need. And he'll be right there with you.
But that chaplain told you to do something every day, and you started to do what? The prayer you prayed, right?
Yeah, I should just say, Lord, just stay with me. Just stay with me.
And what happened?
And he stayed with me. He was still with me. With God, he with all of us. And, so then 6 months later, like after that, like my whole mindset changed. Like I was like, man, I'm still gonna play football again. I'm still gonna play football again. So then I slowly started recovering. I started back working out and stuff. And then I did my pro day. I did good. Got drafted.
Now you're in the NFL.
Now I'm in the league.
Now, how powerful his story, but you know, what I hope, you know, the young people hear is that he made a conscious choice. You know, people help you in your journey. But when the chaplain had him connect again to prayer and to believing in himself and how everything turned around from there, that's something that we can do every day. Now, you know, we're going to go back before that, before all this happened, because you had a unique high school, you know, journey academically.
Yeah.
And I want these young people to know, because not only are you here standing physically and earn something professionally, but you did something academically also. Let's talk to the young people about that.
And basically, my whole high school experience was terrible. Like me as a freshman and sophomore, like I was just trying to be funny. I was trying to be a classroom clown. I ain't gonna say I was a bad kid, but I wasn't focused. You know what I'm saying? So like I failed a lot of classes. And so then my mom, she wanted me to try to do this private school thing my junior year. So I went to the private school, I played football, I did good. But she couldn't finish paying the tuition off for the private school. So I ended up losing all my credits for my junior year. So then I went back to public school my senior year, and like I didn't have enough credits to play football. So I ended up playing like 2 games, like my whole senior year I played 2 games in high school. And then I had to basically I had to go to the 13th grade, like for real. Like I went to like a accredited high school where like kind of boost your credits up. And while I was going there, it just magically appeared. It was the first year of this program. It was called Southeast Prep. It's like a prep school almost. And man, it was a grind. Like it was literally like the gridiron game. Like we really was. Like we didn't have no locker room. You didn't have no buses. You didn't have no training room. You didn't have none of that. It was just your car, your pads, and it was like we practiced in this church field. It was muddy. We practiced in this church field behind these houses, and it was like it was crazy. It was just a real grind. Like no money. I remember we used to have to go to the grocery store and steal groceries. I'm sorry for saying this, but that's what we had to do. But man, I had went there and we had a good team. We had a whole bunch of talent on our team. We was like 10-1. And from there, I earned a scholarship to the Bar Junior College. And from the Bar Junior College another grind. And then from there, I went to U of H.
And you earned your degree in what?
Sociology.
In sociology. So with all of those trials and tribulations and all of the difficulties, he found a way to stay focused and get the job done. What would you leave the young people with today?
Just have that mindset, like, man, whatever y'all want to do, set a goal for yourself and tell yourself that every day. Like, if you want to go to the league, say, I'm going to go to the league. I'm going to go to the league. When I was little, I remember I used to always shoot. I used to play basketball. I used to always want to go to the NBA. So I used to shoot on my basketball goal. I'm like, man, if I make this shot, I'm going to the league. And I'll make it. I'm like, if I make this shot, I'm going to the league. I'll make it. And that's just something I did, and it's weird, and it's like,
It's not focused.
it's just, and I used to tell myself that all the time. And basically, it's a mindset, man. Like anything you want to do, like if you want to make straight A's this year, say, I'm gonna make straight A's, I'm gonna make straight A's. But then go out there and do it. Like if you keep telling yourself you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. But if you go out there and doubt yourself, like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Like if you out there playing football and like, man, I don't know if we're gonna win this game, you're not gonna win the game. Because you're not believing it. Just saying, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna beat them, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's a mindset, you gotta do it, man. They say football 80% mentally and 20% is true. I'm telling y'all, just tell yourself that whatever y'all want to do, just have it in your mind. Be like, man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Let's give this gentleman a round of applause. Thank you, sir, DJ. We'll see you at the end of the panel. Thank you, sir. The next